Kujvaj. Start of another day, and start of another day for me at least. Yene is inside sleeping, and normally I'd have my coffee right now, my biscotti, but I figured I'd let Yene sleep for a little bit, but and not make the noise of making my coffee. But it's about 6 o'clock in the morning right now, and I wanted to share some thoughts. I got a lot of thoughts going through my mind. So here we are in Frankenmuth, Michigan, and I'm still kind of figuring out this whole camper thing, having the camper on the back of my vehicle, and so far I like it. You know, it's a rather small camper. It's a small camper, but it's comfortable. It's comfortable and it's cozy. Last night we slept with the windows open, and it's rather cool. Probably got down there right now. It's probably in the low 50s, I'd imagine, if not even the upper 40s. But I fired up the furnace, and set it to 76 to warm up for Yene. So here we are in Frankenmuth, and I'm not going to say I was totally disappointed, but it's had I known now what I had I known then what I know now, I probably wouldn't have made the special trip up here. Um, as far as coming up here, it's just a bit of a tourist trap. And then we went out to this place called Zender's for chicken dinner, and it was something like $55 for two people, all you can eat. And it wasn't bad, but to be quite honest with you, probably could have gone to Kentucky Fried Chicken and had better chicken than what we had last night at Zender's. But it was world famous, world famous chicken. That's what Skip Smith said. He said you got to go to Zender's. You got to go get your chicken dinner. good old good old Skip Smith. That's one of the things that was on my mind. I got a one of my followers. I don't know if you. I hate to say that followers. One of my followers sounds like I'm some type of a guru, and I've got these followers. But nonetheless, one of my subscribers, maybe that's a better word, one of my subscribers reached out to me and invited Yane and I to his property to invited us to his property to spend the night, or maybe 2 nights, I don't know. But he invited us to his property. He said that he has a country estate or something like that. Anyway, this gentleman is a gentleman that, like myself, he and his wife, they travel a lot. His wife is Hungarian, and they travel a lot. And they come into Michigan, their home, I think for the summers, and then they're off on their adventures in the autumns and the winters. His name is Phil. His wife's name forsakes me at the moment, but anyway, so they invited us to come up and camp at uh, at their property. So he sends me the address, which of course I'm not gonna put on put on the internet. But he sends me his address last night, and I know this guy. You I go on Facebook one time a day. I go on Facebook once a day, and it's usually before bed. I just kind of scan through the post. And this guy, gentleman Phil, um, probably posts some. He more times than not, if he posts something onto Facebook, it's something of substance. A lot of times it's something along the lines of what he's most interested in. It seems, and that is either travel or plants or growing things, nature. And so last night he had sent me his address, and I went on Google to see where it was for directions. And I let curiosity get the better of me, and I put it on satellite view, and I zoomed in, and sure as shit, uh, he his property, from the aerial view, from the satellite view, it's just I just anticipate what I'm going to see. It's just beautiful, beautiful gardens and vegetable gardens and flower gardens and different types of plants and trees and shrubs and all that type of stuff growing. So maybe he'll let me share that on YouTube. We'll have to see. But I was thinking that one of the things that I love about traveling, I love seeing new places. I love new experience and what have you. But more than anything, it's the people. It's the people that you meet when you're traveling. That's what I love. That's what I love more than anything. It's making new friends and experiencing new cultures and what have you. Last night I was walking home from the shower and I found myself thinking about Skip Smith and Sue. And interestingly enough, I met Skip just as I'm meeting Phil. It was through YouTube, and so that's one of the biggest things that I really like about traveling. It's the meeting people. And what else is on my mind? Uh, Not too much else. There is no, there's a lot. There's a lot on my mind. But it's interesting as we travel. Here we are 3 or 4 years ago. It seems now, it was probably about 3 or 4 years ago. Life goes by fast. 3 or 4 years ago, I was told by a doctor that I probably have trigeminal nerve disease. Trigeminal nerve disease. It's also known as the suicide disease, and the trigeminal nerve comes out of this side of the head. So you have three branches. Trigeminal nerve. You got nerves that come up here, nerves that come down here, and nerves that come down here. And 3 or 4 years ago, I was told by a doctor that I had trigeminal nerve disease, and he diagnosed it because the entire side of my face, it was it was bad. It was really bad. It was like numbing and pain, and you go from one doctor to another, and there's really no way from them to diagnose it per se. But over 2 3 years ago, I never thought. I thought at 52 or 53, for all intent and purpose, my life was over. And for me to be sitting here behind the wheel with with this camper in tow and planning a summer adventure around the United States and sharing it with somebody as special as Shanae, it's there's not a moment that goes by that I don't thank the Lord above for have giving me the opportunity. My condition is well, it's manageable. I still get it. I still get. I think the best way to describe it would be like tension headaches, or maybe or stress or something like that, headaches. But it's with other types of health conditions and what have you. It makes my condition pale. So anyway, that would give you some insight. That gives you some insight into my thoughts about why it is that it's so special to me to be traveling. But anyway, as far as other thoughts, trying to get the work done. I've got so much work to do, for different clients. And today it's about 6 a.m. as I'm doing this video, and we're gonna sit here right in the campsite right up until checkout time, which is it checkout time or pull out time? I don't know. Pull out time maybe, until pull out time at about 1 o'clock. And last night I was just looking at the map of the United States, and it's so interesting. I mean, here it is. I know the distances as I wipe the sleep out of my eye. I know the distances and the time getting from point A to B and on to C. And I keep trying to think. I'm just going to play it by ear. We're going to pull into Minneapolis on talking to my client in Missoula yesterday about all the places to camp and the all the campgrounds and the fishing and all that type of stuff. And the thought of just going and parking this camper at a place like Glacier National Park or something like that, just somewhere beautiful out in the west. Boy, that sounds appealing. I just want to get in this camper and just drive like a bat out of hell and find my way back over to the west coast. But anyway, so those are my morning thoughts. I don't have one of those little books. I don't have one of those little books that what was the one back home, whatever. But I have I don't know where I picked this book up. Maybe my dad. Maybe my dad is maybe my dad is the one that brought this book to me. I don't know. God's words, God's words of life from the NIV Men's Devotional Bible. And I was talking to Jimmy the other day, and Jimmy. I was telling Jimmy that it's often interesting where you'll take something like this, and you just flip through the pages, and wherever your finger lands, you read it, and uh, and it always seems to correlate with something in your life. But anyway, this is just something I'm not going to read from this today, but these are more Bible passages. But maybe I'll pick up one of those books along the way. Oh, here's one from Jude 1:2. Mercy, peace, and love be yours in abundance. There you have it. Mercy, peace, and love be yours in abundance. So anyway, with that being said, everybody have a great day. It's getting cold out here, and I fired up the furnace. I'm going to get back inside. Take care.